Hey guys, Chill with Sub-07 and welcome back to Let's Play Metroid Other M. Last time, we found ourselves entering the Cryosphere, the last of the three main sectors, and this time we're taking a little bit of a detour before we get into the main episode itself. Something I don't really point out is, there's kind of a neat little thing this game does when you go to the file select screen. If you select the file that you're currently playing as and you have advanced to certain points of the story, the game actually gives you a bit of a story recap. Which is kind of a first for the series. Case in point, after we set off with Sector 3, the exam center explodes. Adam then informs Samus that there must be survivors in Sector 2. Samus sets out for Sector 2. It's not much, but it does actually change depending on where you are in the story, so that is kind of a neat touch. And I figure I gotta give it credit where I can, because there's only so much credit I can give for this game. Yeah. Well, regardless, we're in the Cryosphere, and we're looking for survivors. Let's get back to it as soon as we can. Also, I think that was actually the Metroid Prime. Well, actually, that's just the general Metroid jingle for appearing at a save point. Just sounded remarkably similar to the Prime version. Alright, for now, there are some items back there, but we can't access them. So for now, we just head forward. Oh god. Immediately? Ow. Okay, you guys need to go away. All of you. Okay, I would much appreciate it if you just died. Get off me! Thank you. Take care of this fly pot nest, because that's just gonna be a problem and a half otherwise. Thank you. I believe there actually is a spot around here that we can get an item. I don't know where it is though. Oh. Super missile. Really? Okay. I believe there is a spot that we can roll into somewhere. We need Morph Ball for it. I just feel like that's the thing, because I'm not 100%. Oh, here we go. Samus, come on. Thank you. And head this way. Okay, I don't really much appreciate that. Oh, wait. I think I remember. No. Could have sworn that we were supposed to freeze that. Oh no, we just gotta just keep pushing for it. There we go. Managed to get around this way, that's better. And one thing I will note about this game that might not seem so relevant nowadays, but kind of was at the time. Uh-oh. Oh god. Okay, I guess I just have to say that for a second because we got a new type of enemy here. Out of the way. Ooh. I didn't think that would actually count as pinning it. Wow, good showing, bro. Really appreciate that hustle. That creature was known as a curation. They're kind of weird enemies that they got two guns on their back, but they're nothing special in that regard otherwise. Grab yourself a missile tank. I honestly forgot we ran into them at this point in the game, so I was just kind of startled by that. But what I was going to say, something that was kind of contentious about Other M for a long time is that since Other M takes place during, I guess, quote-unquote, the normal part of the timeline outside of the Prime games, a lot of people were kind of concerned that Other M would be Sakamoto's way of saying that the Prime trilogy was uncanon. While there was never really a confirmation about that for the English guys, the Japanese media actually acknowledges the Prime games because the Japan-only manual for Other M, or excuse me, not manual, but guide for Other M, actually does reference it. There is images out there that acknowledge the Prime games as part of the timeline. It's never really been classified where exactly they fall. I believe they're supposed to be set as like a prequel at some point between 1 and 2. But yeah, the Prime games are canon, but people were always just kind of uncertain about them for a long time, so it's nice to have that clarification. Ooh. Hey! Get off me! Okay, yeah, I didn't even know these guys could charge. I'm learning some new things every day. Okay, I don't know how I missed that. Come on. Thank you. Jesus. Look, I know Volfons can be kind of tough, but that did not need to be that hard. But yeah, just a neat little detail, because the Prime games themselves, if you never played them, they're fantastic, and they're still heavily regarded as one of the best transitions of 2D to 3D gameplay. So I highly recommend them, but man, there was a while where people were just unsure. Oh my god, Giga Frog. There was just a long time where people weren't sure if Nintendo themselves considered the Prime games to be canon. And some of it might have been because people felt, because it was done by a Western dev, that was the reasoning. That was not the reasoning. People were just jumping to conclusions. Okay, let's just take care of this Giga Frog real fast. Oh god. These guys really like to just do a lot of jumping and charging, so as long as I'm careful about this. Where are you going? Hold still, please. Thank you. Whoa! Like, sir. Sir, please die. There we go. Whew! Much better. Yeah, the enemies certainly do pack a punch around here. You can tell the game's actually picked up a bit since we first started because enemies are actually doing a fair bit of damage now. What have we got here? Thermal missile? Really? Oh, okay. Kind of was expecting to be able to get into that block of ice, but I guess this works. Oh, that works, I suppose. Now we can easily just climb up here and continue on our merry little way. Wonderful. These guys, Ice Key... I don't know why I said Keese. We're not playing Zelda. Ice Zoomers do have a actual name that I did not realize at the time. They're called, of all things, these things are called Snommers. So I'm sorry, Pokemon. Metroid did it first. But let's be real, Pokemon did it better. Okay, the beeps indicate that yes, there is in fact an item around here, which is nice. Just gonna roll into Morph Ball mode so we can get over here. Snommers really aren't that big of a difference between regular... I keep trying to say Zoomers because that's their default name, but God. Whatever, I'm just gonna call them Zoomers. I know they're supposed to be Ice Zoomers, but they don't really do anything different to justify having Ice variants. Like, they're there more for variety's sake. At least Desgigas look a lot more distinct from Sidehoppers. Dead. Alright, now, if I remember correctly... There's a very particular spot we have to actually go if we want to get the power up in this room. I believe we can't actually get this one, which is kind of nice, but the other one might be... Okay, go in here. There it is. Much better. And we can drop back down. 30 missiles already? I believe the cap for this game in particular, and this kind of bugs me, the total is 80. Not 100, 80. Which, hey, there's a lot of missiles in this game to be fair, but that's an oddly specific number to have. So it just kind of bugs me. Also, we got another round of these guys. Yeah, curations, not really that big of an issue, so long as you're just careful with how you deal with them. You can also shoot down these icicles from the ceiling to give yourselves more platform to work with, which is kind of nice. And as you can hear from the background, because where'd the curation... Oh my god, did we crush him using the ice? I think we did. Either that or we missed and just drowned. But where's my map? There it is. Okay, so there is something in the water. In fact, you can actually kind of see it off in the distance. Thankfully, this guy is stupid enough to actually give you an easy way to see it. And an easy way to get over to him, because his electric attacks will wind up knocking down the ice for you. How did that miss? Samus, you gonna explain that one for me? Why are you trying to concentrate? Come on. Yeah. Like, if there's one thing that genuinely upsets me about this area, the cryosphere really, really sucks in regards to water. Because you get stuck once, it takes forever to get out of. Come on. Come on. Come on, Samus. Thank you. Let me guess. Is there an icicle we gotta knock down? Yes, there is. That's what it was. It looked like it'd make that jump, but apparently the game decided, nah, you don't need that. What? I don't know how that one missed. Another freeze, that should help. Yeah, enough freeze attacks on this dude will actually wind up freezing his guns, but if you damage him enough, he actually goes into this kind of berserker state where regular charge shots do not work on him, but missiles do. This guy's kind of interesting in that he only is weak to one particular thing at a time. Oh god. And it alternates depending on if he's angry or not. Since he is angry, in this case he was down. I could have probably finished him off with a lethal strike, but that's fine. But since he was angry, we could have actually just straight up used missiles and missiles only. Oh my god. You gotta be kidding me. How did I miss that? Yeah, there is a power-up here, and thankfully it's pretty obvious. Like, sometimes they kind of get crafty with hiding these things in plain sight, but this one is just a nuisance to get because they put it in the water. And so we don't have access to gravity suit. Thanks, Adam. We're gonna need a second to actually grab this. There we go. Dink. 31. Yeah, we're almost... No, we're not almost halfway there. We're going to take a bit to get there. For some reason, my mind went to 70 because I went, oh, right, you get 70 missiles. But you don't start with 0. You start with 10. Because this game's weird like that. But whatever. Let's continue on our little way and get to that save room. Because actually, we did take a fair bit of damage. I gotta say, though, like, issues aside with the gameplay, I'm still kind of impressed by just how nice this game looks. Like, I know this is from 2010, but for Wii standards, this looks really good. Like, genuinely, this is one of the best looking games on the Wii. It's a shame that it's Other M. Oh. More of you guys? Ugh. And another Stomper? Okay, a few Stompers, actually. We can take care of you guys easily. I think there actually is supposed to be a power-up out here. That's why these guys are here. No? Okay. Well, I guess not. Yeah, sometimes I know that it's just important to clear out enemies in the room because it will tell you if there's an item here, but I guess not this time. Oop. What do we got?
The creature's corpse showed signs of what looked like Metroid predation, making my mind race. Metroids? Here?
Well, you did discuss bioweapons.
Metroids can't tolerate cold temperatures.
Well, that is true.
They couldn't survive in this environment. Besides, they're extinct.
Those of you who don't know your Metroid lore, Metroid 2 is literally about Samus driving them to extinction. The reason why the opening cinematic showed one was because she let one live as the baby Metroid, but that was also killed at the end of Super Metroid. So don't worry about that. For now, I don't believe we can actually head that way because the door is locked, so instead we gotta do a bit of exploring. Can we actually look at this? Yes, we can. Okay, doesn't do anything, but interesting that we can look at it. For now, let's head this way. But yeah, Metroids are not supposed to be around right now because, you know, they're supposed to be dead. But if you also know your Metroid games in general, that has not stopped us in the past, and it probably will not stop us again. If someone wants Metroids, they probably know a way to get them. Giga Frog here, but we can always just deal the damage to him, especially since we managed to crack open his skull. I was supposed to dodge out of the way of that, but I guess not. Ow. Ow. Hold still. Hold still, Giga Frog. Man, this guy really does like to take a beating, jeez. Hold still. Oh god. Love of God, man. Please just die. Thank you. I would have dealt with these two sooner, but they're kind of a pain in the ass right now. Also, those fans would have slowed you down, but if you use Ice Beam, you can just freeze them. Which helps you note the frozen fly pod behind them, allowing you to deal with them. At least I would have, if I could have blasted them. Instead, I blasted that stupid bug instead. There we go. And you'll note there is, in fact, an item up there. And we can actually grab it. But first, destroy this. Otherwise, you're going to have a problem. Oh, two of them, actually. Back to first person. I feel like I wouldn't mind the transition between first person and third person if we just had a better way to go around it, because having to point the Wiimote at the screen for it, while an interesting idea and kind of makes sense from a gameplay standpoint, is a bit cumbersome, especially since there's only so much you use in first person, because you can only use missiles and search. That's about it. Like, I appreciate that you can talk, but still. But to be fair, it's not like that wasn't the only design idea that they had for a control scheme, because if you don't know this game, they did consider alternate control schemes. And by they, I mean Team Ninja. Sakamoto shot them all down. Why? Simple. He didn't want them. He wanted the gameplay design to be exactly how he wanted, including down to having the Wiimote for, quote, simplicity's sake. The problem was, he also later admitted in hindsight he felt that the Wiimote and nunchuck arrangement, or whatever other control scheme they come up with, was better, but he was so stubborn that he stuck to what he had wanted to do in the first place. I'm not kidding. Like, I don't know what the hell the other M development must have been like, but Sakamoto sounded like such a fucking diva during it. It is kind of incredible that this game even turned out half as good as it is. And that's saying a lot, because it's Metroid Other M. Oh, goodness. For now, though, since we know we can freeze these fans, let's blast them. So anyway, I started blasting. I don't know why, I just love that meme. It's good to use for things. Alright, I believe we can head in here. Yes. And in doing so, we can get ourselves yet another missile tank. Thank you. I don't believe there's anything else here. Yeah, this one is just a dead end. Thank you. And we can't access that other door, so for now we go back to where we were. But yeah, I can technically say I've worked on games before because I do have a job as QA testing. I won't specify who because I don't feel like that's necessary information and I don't want to get in trouble. But I've done QA testing for games, and I can tell you game development is a group effort. So if you're going to be a dick to the rest of your team for that, you better have a damn good reason or justification for it other than just, it's what I want for the game design, because that's not cool. Like, from what I remember hearing for the other developments, it wasn't nearly this kind of problem, so I don't know why Sakamoto was so hell-bent on things being a particular way for Other M. Though I suppose it is kind of breaking the first rule of game design. Do not be afraid to kill your babies. Which sounds horrible, and it is, because it's supposed to be. Because if there's one thing about game design you'll learn, it's this. You're going to be brainstorming a lot of ideas, and not all of them are going to be put in the game. Don't get attached to all of your ideas. If you do, you might wind up regretting that. Drop some bombs on this to drop this ice into the water, and clear ourselves a path. Thank you. More Stommers. Oh god. More of these stupid jellyfish as well. Now, Jolin's you can technically overload with energy and blow up. I kind of forgot to mention that because it doesn't really come out as a necessity. And now we're in the water tank? Alright. I didn't even realize this was here. Oops. There's a bunch of skull turtles in the water. And there's a missile tank over there. That's good to know. But unfortunately, we gotta go for a swim. Luckily, we can just, you know, do the thing with the beam. Thank you. Easy enough. And the game, of course, lets us know that that missile tank is there, even though we already saw it. Like, that one was more easy to point out than most things. What you want to do here, though, is find this valve and blast it. Because in doing so, you wind up kind of opening yourself up for the possibility of not only getting in here, but blasting it and releasing the water. Samus can't quite hold on, so she gets blown all the way back over here. And now this area is submerged, which is actually kind of a neat twist. So those skull terrors we saw in the water over here now have a much larger habitat and a much larger range to try and eat your face. Oh dear. Luckily, these guys are not exactly the most potent of enemies. Even when they decide to grab you, they're pretty easy to see coming. Like, I kind of appreciate that there is not many enemies you have to deal with in the water, because water in Metroid just tends to suck. So I appreciate that these guys are, like, the only things you run into out here. There's no water boss, to my knowledge. And I don't think there ever was, like, anything found from development of this game either. Like, you can find a lot of interesting details about this game online, but a water boss was certainly not one of those things, thank goodness. Luckily, we can just use the ladder here to get out. Come on, get out of the water. Go faster, please. Thank you. And thanks to that ice that we blasted earlier, it wound up over here and could be used as a platform to get over here. Funnily enough as well, you can just kind of ignore the Snommers. Like, if you know that there's no item in a room and you don't need to stay in the room for whatever reason, you can always just run around everything! Oh god. Curations? More of these dudes? I didn't think we'd be running into these guys so much. Kind of forgot about how much they exist. Okay, this guy is angry, which means I can blast him. Let's just get rid of you. Good old execution. Oh, no, you don't. I ain't letting you get any sort of berserkness going on me. Let's just freeze those tentacles real fast. Like, it is a surprisingly effective tool having the Ice Beam, because normally Ice Beam just freezes everything in its tracks, but this is actually a kind of interesting way to keep the gameplay moving, despite the fact you have a literal ice gun. Like, I kind of appreciate that about other M. Because otherwise, unless it was a boss fight, most enemies just froze in their tracks with the power of the Ice Beam, unless they were cold resistant. Alright, another missile tank, of course, so now we're at 33. And we head over this way. Oh boy, another long and uninteresting hallway. I wonder what could be at the end of this. Ice. That's what. But we need the speed booster for it. So, kinda can't do anything about that. Let's go back.
The most efficient way through here should be delivering shoulder impacts with your speed booster, so I'm authorizing its use.
Finally. Alright, now we can actually go fast! Which means we have the speed booster. So yes, run long enough of a distance and you will ignite blue and just charge recklessly. And you also have the Shine Spark. This thing is not as much of a speedrunning tool, but it is useful for crossing great distances because you can still jump very far with this. This does not absorb your health to do so like it does in some Metroid games, so that's also kind of nice. And you can jump straight up. This is also a press and hold thing to do, which is kind of appreciated, so you don't have to store the charge. Because that used to be the big issue with it, was that you had to store the charge. And we can't go back, so we literally have to do this. So yeah, the boosters on our back ignite, and we charge. Smash. That's how you know this is working. But what you want to do, actually, is turn around. Because if you're crafty about this, you'll note there's a box over there. And wouldn't you know it, it's another goddamn missile tank. So naturally, we want to do this again. Because I need a bit more of a running start so we can actually get the front lined up. Because we do not have enough real estate up at the top of that slope. Because what you have to do is Shine Spark your way across it, but if you stop on the slope, you will still slide down. And now we're actually back at the start, where we can pick up this thing. What is this, you may ask? E-Recovery Tank. This is a thing that increases the amount of health your concentration does, which, okay, I kind of appreciate that as well. That's useful. And now, oh, okay, no, I did not get a good enough of a run-up. Almost. But that should be an easy fix. Also, as you saw, it wants us to head back to that, so it looks like that door is finally open. Let's just get good amount of boost picked up. In actuality, now that I think about it, I probably could have just stored and released going the opposite direction. Damn it. Well, too late now. Oh no, we can do it on the slope. Nice. Ooh, just barely. But we'll take that and get ourselves yet another missile tank. Thankfully, there's not many of these that we have to worry about for getting with the speed booster, so that's taken care of for the most part. Let's just turn around and go back. The speed booster will be kind of nice, though, to clear out other areas, because there is a bunch of stuff that you can pick up through just going in a straight line. And zoom to the right. What? What did I hit? If you're going to tell me that I hit a goddamn wall, I'm going to call foul on that, because I did not see any dang wall. Well, regardless, let's just head up this way and head back to where that door was. Ew. Okay, so this thing's finally awake. I think we actually can kill this if we use the speed booster of all things. Oh god. Whoa! Get off me! Jesus Christ, that does a lot of damage. Hey! Back off! Okay, Jesus. I do not remember that doing so much damage. Holy cow, that startled me. Alright, let's head back this way, and quickly now. Luckily, we got a straight shot, so we can just speed booster. And the useful thing about it, line up, zoom! And what you can do, we can go in here right now and progress, but there's also a sub-tank down there, or an energy tank, so I'm going to grab that first. Go in this hole, and keep this hole in mind so that we can actually come back up here and grab this. Full health. Their fourth energy tank. And drop in here and just lay a power bomb. Not power bomb, regular bomb. God damn it. I'm so used to just having to drop power bombs. Looks like there was a loading screen there. Huh, it was kind of weird. And looks like we got more of this research station to explore down in the cryosphere. But we've been going for kind of a long time. So I think we're going to call it here, because we did get a decent amount of stuff. We got the speed booster finally. We saw that some sort of creature attacked that Giga Frog, and possibly it could be a Metroid, at least as far as Samus believes. I don't know how much I believe that, but I suppose we will find out next time, potentially. Next time, Let's Play Metroid Other M, we'll be diving deeper into the cryosphere and seeing what we can uncover. Till next time, ice out.